Hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast. I know it's been a long time, but welcome back to my podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, for tuning in. Um, for being on this roller coaster of a ride called my podcast, which is my heart. I mean, Heart Flow, Heart Flow, the podcast. Um, Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. I hope you guys have had um, an awesome summer because I ain't been here since. Listen, I ain't made a video since what was that, April or something. Hope your summer was great. I hope at the beginning of the fall was great. And I hope Thanksgiving was great. I meant to do a video. I actually did a video, guys, before Thanksgiving, but it didn't save. So here we are. Um, so I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate, or hope you had a great gathering with your family, right? Um, the Christmas season, the Hanukkah, Kwanzaa seasons are approaching us. I hope you guys are able to be in the moments of family and peace and joy, and really be able to find those calm moments and those moments of moments, those glimmer moments. I made a video about glimmer moments, but I hope you're able to hold on to those moments and really cherish those, especially in this season, the end of the year. All of the things are happening, family trips, so many things, right? So I hope you're able to hold on to the glimmer moments and really take time for yourself. Be able to ground yourself and be at somewhat peace with the things that are happening around you, in your life. So y'all, I was looking at the video prior to this one, the one that I made in April, which was the last video, and I was watching it and I was like, girl, don't mind my nails either, y'all, okay? I was like, ooh, girl, you are so hurt. I was like, ooh, you're so hurt and you're so angry. Poor little baby bird. You are just an injured, hurt thing, right? All valid. It was all valid, but the way that I was talking was so angry. I was so angry and hurt or whatever. And as I was watching it, I was like, I'm gonna have to delete this because this is not good. This is not good. I'm gonna have to delete this. But then I was like, no, this is a part of my journey, right? This is a part of my journey, and as transparent as possible, I will keep this on here, right? Because it was a part of my journey, and it is where I was at that moment in time, dealing with the things that I was dealing with. I am also very thankful that I didn't make any more videos after that, because it would have still been in the same place. But seeing where I was, I'm glad that I had the wherewithal to be aware of where I was. Because even in that video, I said I am jaded and in a phase, in a season of I don't care. And you can tell that I was in a season of I don't care when it came to men specifically. And I also told one of my best friends, like, do not tell me anything that is happening between you and your partner, because I'm not going to look at them I'm not giving any type of grace to any man, except for like my brother and my son. But in like romantic relationship wise, I'm not giving grace to any man right now. There's no grace for them. There's no compassion. There's none of that. So don't tell me nothing about your partner, because if you want me to hate him, okay, sure, tell me everything. Tell me the things. But that's not what I want. I don't want to hate him. I don't want to hate men in general. So please don't. I need space to be able to process all that is happening within me and what's going on with me. So I am thankful that I did have the wherewithal to recognize that, to let her know that or whatever, and to just be honest with myself, because I knew that's where I was, but that's also not where I wanted to stay. I didn't want to stay there. So it was also a prayer that I would heal, that the Lord would help me heal and move on and move forward and be able to do that. So I do not believe I'm where I was before. I am able to extend some, some grace and compassion in situations. I wouldn't say that I am totally healed, but I am still on that journey. I do believe the Lord has been working on me. From then, He has been chipping away at my hard heart when it comes to my son's dad specifically, and then men in general, because that's what that video was about. It was really about my son. Not really, but I said it in that video. It was about my son's dad. So, also, side note, but not side, I want to apologize to my son's dad because I said everything in anger and hurt. And not a lot of what I said, but some of what I said I didn't have to say. But in being transparent, I said some things, but I apologize to him because I said a lot of the stuff in anger and in my season of hurt. So I want to apologize to him. I don't even think he watches my videos, but still, I said it publicly in my hurtness, in harshness. So I will say my apology also publicly, and sincerely. But yeah. So, but I was watching and I was like, "Ooh, girl, this is so embarrassing. Let's take this down." But no, I'm gonna keep it up just to show that there are seasons, in phases that we go through. Everything isn't immediate. When we are healing and moving through the process of that, right? And we're learning new things, especially when you are learning new things about a person, and different things are being revealed to you, and you're having to process all that through and deal with your emotions on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So not everything is immediate, right? But that was a time. It was a time. That video was wild. And I know a lot of people did not watch that video just because of the all of what I talked about on that video, especially at the end when I was talking about how I was taken advantage of when I was a kid, which is new information for everyone. Everyone except for like maybe 3 people. So for, I don't know, I would say 3 to 5 people, right? And no one said anything to me about it. So except for, I know probably the person that watched the video was there's a few people that watched the video, and I'm sure one of them was one of my best friends, and I had already told her. So I have to warn her about stuff that I'm gonna say out here, so she's not angry. But yeah, so I know a lot of people didn't watch it or didn't watch it all the way through, which, it is what it is. Because that was a piece that was on there towards the end, and nobody said anything to me about it, especially not my family. But I don't know why I said that. Anyway, yeah. So a lot has happened since that video. I am still on the Lord will provide journey, right? I'm doing much better in my career field, have gained a lot more clients, and which is going well. It's going well. I am appreciative of that, where I'm at, the site that I'm at, or whatever, and that the Lord is literally carrying me through. And I wouldn't be where I am without Him. And so I'm very thankful for all that he has provided me with, all that he has been sustaining. Jesus has been sustaining in my life, and working on me all at the same time. That's the type of God that I serve, right? He can do multiple things all at once. You know what I'm saying? He has his hand on all things all the time, and it's not too much for him. Thank you, Lord. That's why we give up our yoke and our burdens to take on his, because they're easy and light. Amen. So I'm very thankful that he has carried me through and is carrying me through on this journey of healing and provision and growth, all of it. This year has been a wild year, wild year. So many things are coming to my mind right now. I didn't write anything down like I should have. But yeah, so my career field, gaining my hours, is still slow because, private practice is not the same as an agency. Private practice is really dependent on the clients that come in and are committed and follow through. Agency is still that, but there's more. They have a bigger pool to pull from. So they have more clients to pull from than a private practice would. And so my clients are great, and I appreciate them, the ones that show up and are committed and are consistent. And that is just what I will continue to pray for, right? Consistency, and more clientele. But it's going well, and I appreciate that so much. Excuse me, so much. So that is that update, and then, I am still on this weight loss and weight loss and fitness journey, or whatever, that I started back in November. I am proud of the progress that I've made. I do pat myself on the back for that, because especially in the face, you can tell that I've lost weight. It's really more inches than weight, but I've lost weight. I am very hard on myself, so hard on myself. But there's a lot of factors that contribute to my lack of progress, I would say. And a lot of that was because of my financial resources, truly and honestly. But I am still on that journey, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have and what I'm able to do, right? And I don't know why I actually brought that up. Diggity darn. But I am still on that journey. I do want to actually drop more pounds. So that is like a goal of mine. Still body recomposition, which is like, weight training or strength training, as well as fat loss or whatever. So both of them simultaneously, which it can be a bit trickier. But yeah, so I'm still lifting weights or whatever, and doing cardio. I need to up my cardio, which means I need to walk or run. I don't want to do that. I need to add that into my regimen. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. But I need to do that. I know it will be very beneficial for me to do that, and then find more ways to get my protein in. I suck at getting in protein, but I know my muscles need protein, and that is what really helps my muscles, is protein. But I don't know why I brought up my fitness journey. I don't remember, guys. Sorry. But I am still on that journey. That is still what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Segue into, but that has been not as consistent as I had wanted it to be out well, prior to December, prior to November, actually, because y'all, when August hit, it came August and it came time for Duda to go to school. Bruh, it's like my world shifted. Or like so many things were like uncovered and had to be dealt with um, all at once, it seemed like. And it was so hard and frustrating. Like the day before he started school was a shift for me. It was a monumental shift for me as mom. Um, because the night before he went to school, he struggled to go to sleep. Right, it took him hours to go to sleep, which is not unlike him. But I was so frustrated because I was concerned about, okay, so he's not going to sleep, which if he doesn't get enough rest, his first day might not be good. He might be really cranky. It might not go well. All of these things with him being at a new school, new teacher, new friends, new building. Everything was new. And then on top of that, he's not sleeping. So I was like so frustrated with that. And then the Holy Spirit was like, see if um, the sleeping patterns or not being able to sleep is related to sensory processing struggles or disorder, right? And so I did, and voila, it is. And I just was so hard on myself because I just felt like I should have known that. Like, of course, it's related. Of course, it's related, but I didn't. I didn't know. Um, I didn't know that, right? I'm trying to give myself grace in this moment, but I didn't know. But I definitely I was beating myself up because I felt like I should have known. Like I should have known. Like this was a struggle of his. He's been struggling with it for forever. Since he was a baby, honestly, going to sleep for him had always been so hard. And so the reason why it's difficult because falling asleep um is a part of regulating your body. And to calm your body down, you have to regulate yourself. And with individuals who struggle with certain type of sensory processing difficulties, they aren't able to regulate themselves. Duda doesn't know how to regulate himself. He can't do that. Um, so of course, going to sleep was hard for him to do. Anything would like wake him back up, or not wake him back up, but like get his attention. So it would be difficult to calm his body. Like if it was a light, or if it was a sound, or any of those, he would be like in his mind, like, what is that? Well, what's that? Or what's going on there? It would be very distracting for him, so he would be unable to regulate himself or whatever. And he has auditory sensitivities mainly, um, which is, he um, he I'm drawing a full blank. Like loud sounds terrifies him. Loud sounds. So loud sounds like the elevator. So that has to do with like depth and motion and all of that. But um, so like loud music or like a lawnmower, weed whacker, motorcycle, those loud cars that be making the noises for no reason. I don't like them. Um, those things, but anything loud, right? It terrifies him. It sends him into fight or flight. So his body uh, processes that as I'm in danger and I need to get out of here. And so um, that's how his body processes it. All right, ever. And so that night, I was boohoo crying. I just felt like a horrible parent because I should have known this and all the things. And now he's going to have a horrible night's sleep and he's going to wake up grumpy, all of the things, right? And I was just taking that all on myself. And then we get to school. He starts school. He actually had a great day. But then they're like, oh, he didn't pass his He didn't pass his eye test. Oh, he didn't pass his hearing test. I was like, y'all, please, 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 please. It was like one day, something after the other. And it was like, oh, he has, and he has food allergies. Oh, we need you to get this from your doctor, which I actually did something and I gave it to him. And then it was like, oh, we need you to get this from the doctor. Oh, we need you to get that from the doctor. Oh, he needs to sign this. I was like, y'all could have stapled all these together and I could have gave the doctor that. All right, ever. But that's not what y'all wanted to do. And so I was like, yeah, it was just a lot and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. And I have been thrown off since then. Honestly, since then, since August, I've been thrown off. Um, and then, and that was earlier August, and I had to set up all the appointments and do the things to get him seen and da 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 da. Woo, woo, woo. I didn't really pay attention to the hearing one because Doodle he for a long time he didn't like stuff on his ears. So if it's a hearing test where he had to put earphones on, it's a no go. He's not gonna. It's just not happening. So I was like, blah. I'm not about to pay attention to that. Um, if something else comes up, I'll clearly take him to the doctor and have him seen for that or whatever. But his hearing has been fine from what I know. But I did take him to the eye doctor or whatever, and but because he was so young, she was like, "We'll just see him again in like 6 months or so to see if he really need glasses or if it's just a new setting, new environment or whatever that he needs to adjust to all of the things or whatever." Because he was so young. Yeah, but it was so many things, so many appointments, all this stuff, and then I had to fill out the information for the IEP plan and all of that, and me internally dealing with that, because like labels and stigmas and all that, and I was just like, Lord Jesus, that was my own thing that I had to deal with, or whatever, because I didn't want him to be labeled. My immediate thought was like, first off, I already knew he's on the spectrum. My son is on the spectrum, and I know he's on the spectrum. I have not gotten tested at the doctors, but through the school he finally had, through the psychologist through the school, and he's atypical. But I already knew he was on the spectrum like 2 years ago. The Holy Spirit asked me, and the Holy Spirit asked me through questions of things, which means it's a yes. But and the Holy Spirit was like, "What if he is autistic?" And I said no. And I bawled my eyes out because that meant yes, that he is. But I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to hear it because to me that meant like he's going to have so many difficulties and struggles, and it was going to be how my mind went to how is he going to live independently, how is he going to be with other people, is he going to be accepted, like so many different things, right? And so I was just like, nope, I don't want to deal with it. But school started and I was just like, I can't do this on my own, right? And even after that night, I had set him up to be assessed by OT or whatever, and we did that, and we started that, and then they started all the IEP stuff. I'm gonna slow down. I had him assessed outside of school at an OT, and so he's been seeing one. Through school, he was being assessed for an IEP plan. They eventually ruled him as atypical, with language delay, which I already knew that. That's initially I did paperwork for a speech therapist like in the summer for him because I already knew that was going to be something that he needs help with. So yeah, so they got him with all that, right? Speech therapist, and help him with like his transitions, help him to be able to better communicate, help him to socialize a bit better with his peers because he does mainly parallel play, and they want him to interact more, all of that good stuff. So, all of that, and yeah, so it's just been a crazy ride, I should say. That's how my August started out. And then the end of August 22nd, August 22nd, my dad was found dead in his apartment. And that was something else. That was not something anybody was expecting at all. Like, at all. And excuse me. I really hate that this light went out, but I knew it was going to. But yeah, so my dad was found dead in his apartment August 22nd. And that was like, I don't know. It was just very unexpected, right? And the whole time for me, I was really just trying to find a connection, trying to find a way to feel connected to him or whatever, because I didn't. I didn't feel connected to my dad because we didn't have a relationship like that. Um, he would pop in and out here and there and say hi, like on, social media. Hi, I love you. You look beautiful. Different things like that on my pictures and whatnot. But that was it, right? A long time ago, almost 10 years ago or so now, me and my dad like got into it or whatever. And after, well, way more than 10 years ago, we got into it. But 10 years ago is when I was really like, okay, so I need to forgive my father, but not only forgive him, but allow him to be who he is and not expect him to be anybody else. And that's what I did. And then I also asked myself, which I do to anybody that I'm thinking of cutting off and no longer speaking to again, if this person died today, would I be okay with never talking to them again? And within my heart and myself, I was okay with that decision. So whenever he would, whenever we would talk here and there was no ill will, no malice or anything like that. I love my dad. We just didn't have a relationship. And it is what it is or whatever. But because we didn't have a relationship and there wasn't really that bond it was hard for me to like grasp or connect with his passing or whatever. So to the best of my ability, I was like trying to hold space for my brother and sister because their relationships were a bit more complicated than mine with our dad. So that's what I wanted to do. That was like the goal. At least that's what I was thinking that I was doing for them, and I hope that came across to them. But that was the goal that I set out around his passing. And yeah, so I went to Portland. We had his service. Yeah, I'm about to hear a lisp now. Yeah, I'm about to hear a lisp because I'm putting in my retainers. But we went to, anyway, so yeah, I went to Portland or whatever. You know what? Let me back up. What was more difficult for me around this whole thing was my dad's side of the family because I hadn't seen them in 10 years. And I had a falling out with one of my cousins on that side who I was really close to, or whatever. And we hadn't spoken since then. Like, no, not for real or whatever. We was in a group chat or whatever, but there was no like real talking, right? Um, but I hadn't talked to that side of the family in forever, forever. My grandma would reach out here and there, and I would send her pictures of Duda here and there, but it was nothing for real. And so what gets me, this is the part that actually touches me. I shouldn't say it like that, but this is the part that touches me the most, because I was talking to my sister um, before his service, before I flew out or whatever, um, and I was like, I don't really think they mess with me like that. I don't think they don't really F with me like that or whatever. And she was like, well, why do you think that? So we was having a conversation about that. Um, and she was like, I can't remember all of what she said, but she was like, I'm not dad or whatever, and I'm not going to say that I'm standing in for him or anything like that. She was like, but with the way that I carry as your big sister, in his daughter or whatever, but as your big sister, I will say that you do belong. You do belong in this family or whatever. You do belong in this family. And that hit me because I felt like I did not. I felt like I was on the outside or whatever. Like DJ was closer to them to me as well than I was. Um, so I just didn't feel that connection or that closeness or that I was even welcome to really to come around or be around or that they wanted me around or whatever. And then when my sister said that, it really it broke me for real. And then I had to walk in and talk to a client. And she was like, take a moment before you walk in there. um, but yeah, that's what hit me most. And that's the part of him passing that was a bit unsettling because I didn't know what I was about to be walking into. I didn't know what to expect, how things were going to be when I got there and around them or whatever. Which could have been why I did not go around them like that while I was there. It very well it very well could be that. Um, uh, Subconsciously, right? Um, but I was also trying to like be there for my brother, like if he needed me, and also my sister. But my sister was taking care of literally everything, and so I was trying to give her space, but also be like, I'm here, right? And I told her that, like, I'm here for y'all because I know the relationship is more complicated with y'all or complex than it is with me. So I'm here for you and my brother. I told her that or whatever, and but when I got there, it was just she was taking care of so much and handling so many things. I was trying to give her space in that. So I don't know if it really came across that way with her, but I was definitely that was my goal when I got there or whatever. But the service was the service, and um, yeah, I was around the family, saw the family or whatever, and it was fine. It was fine. My auntie gave me a hug. My auntie gave me a hug or whatever, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I missed you." And I was like, "I missed you too." And she was like, "Oh, it's so good to hear that." And so that was like a great moment. Nah, you know what's funny? So I gave my, I went to my grandma. I went to my grandma, I gave my grandma a hug. I had on these glasses, which are actually my prescription glasses that I need to have on right now. But I had on my prescriptions. They weren't prescriptions then, but I had on my glasses. And I went up to her and I gave her a hug. And she was like, "Oh, thank you." And then she was like, "Who are you?" She was like, "Who are you?" And then I took my glasses off. She was like, "Oh." She was like, no. And then she said to my cousin, she said, Tara, did you know this was Shayla? And my cousin was like, yeah, Granny, I knew that was her. Oh, that tickled me. That tickled me because she was like, the glasses threw me off. I was hollering. Um, but yeah, so it was good to be to see them, to have the moments of reconciliation in the manner of my dad's service, because that's really what that was. My brother gave words, my sister read a poem. It was, when I tell you, it was so hard to not break down when my brother was talking. Ooh, I had to look away. I had to look away. I really truly did. Really truly did. And so I think we all gave words, honestly. Me and my sister read a poem, my brother gave words, and then, or had words, my niece had words or whatever too. But it was nice to see all of them, especially my niece and my nephew. I ain't been in the same place with my niece and my nephew, my sister's kids, in forever. So it was good to be around them. It was good to be around all of them, because I ain't seen any of them in a while. I wasn't there for the family picture that they took. I think it was in March. It was in March or whatever. I wasn't there for that. So it was good to see all of them, to see everyone again. One of my aunts was like, "You remember me?" I said, "Yes." Yes, I know exactly who you are. I was in two. I was in two. I was in two the last time I saw you. It was funny. But that's how I be feeling when I be seeing people like, you remember me for real? Anyway, so but that part was good or whatever. What was another difficult, not a piece of my dad's passing, but a very challenging part for me that kind of like knocked me down during that time, though, was learning the exact location of where my best friend died. That rocked me, and it felt like I had to grieve her all over again. And unbeknownst to my brother, we took that freeway to get to my grandma's house. We had took the exact freeway over there, and it was so hard to just be in the car and not cry. I'm pretty sure if I would have cried, he would have been totally fine. But he didn't know. I don't think he knows. Well, I don't know if he knows. But yeah, but I learned that, and it was just like grieving her, starting the grieving process all over again, because I never knew the exact location she passed. I just knew it was. I knew it was on a freeway. I didn't know which freeway it was or where it was. And so from September to sometime in November, my life has been just inconsistent. Like, nothing I was doing was consistent. I maybe worked out, except for work and due to, of course, because I'm a single parent. I worked out maybe once or twice a week. And nothing for real, nothing consistent at all. I felt so just, I don't know how to really explain it, just not in the rhythm of things or whatever. Like I couldn't catch my balance or find my rhythm anywhere. I don't know if I am now, like getting to that. getting to a place of normalcy again, but or a new normal. I don't know really. I don't really know what that is or what that looks like or anything like that. But I feel like I am. I won't say going with the flow because I feel like I am making mindful decisions or whatever. It just feels different. It just feels different, and I guess I'm just. I was gonna say taking it one day at a time, but I'm not even like mindfully doing that. So I have a cry right here in my throat. um, but I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know how to conclude that because it's just grief, really. I guess grief is grief, right? Um, and family is family, and reconciliation is reconciliation. Just so much. Toddlers are toddlers. um, I'm just trying my best to be on top of the things that are necessary for me to be on top of, I guess. Um, I do feel like I'm on the go all the time. And then when I do have moments of chill, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do with the moments of chill or anything like that. Um, Even though I want them, right? I want to be able to relax and do nothing. I don't have those moments often. I really don't. Um, yeah, things have been different. I'll run with the word different. Things have been different. And I'm just doing my best to continue to stay on top of the things that are necessary to stay on top of. And if it is not, then whatever, truly. And also, the Lord will provide and the Lord will handle things. I can't stress over stuff that I can't control, even though um, I can be an anxious person, especially when it comes to finances. That's why I try to give it over to the Lord as much as possible, because He will provide and He has been providing, right? But I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. That's all. Christmas is coming up. Um, I put up little decorations or whatever. I have these lights that won't stick. I have the inflatable ornaments outside that I had to hang up because they kept blowing away. Oh, y'all, I got my nose pierced again. Me and my brother got our nose pierced same day, same size, same day. We got our nose pierced, and then look at this: braces off, braces off, gang gang. Just kidding. Um, yeah, update. Braces off. Got these retainers in that y'all saw me put in. Um, and that was something in itself because I didn't want to give up my braces because I really enjoyed having my braces on. I like the colors and everything. Just my braces, period. I wanted braces for such a long time growing up, and then I got them, and I was so happy about that. These retainers are like mini braces, so I didn't stray too far from them. I'm still getting a piece of braces, or the feeling of braces, right? Excuse me. Anyway, I put up these lights that I used tape to put them around like the border of I'm looking at it right now and I just can't think of the name of it, but kind of like the Jesus, like a mantle, but the bar by the kitchen, whatever. But I strung it up there or whatever, right, with some tape, but the tape ain't sticking and it's not staying. But I got the lights up. I did little Christmas tree thing on the wall because we don't got no space. So with the garland, I did the little tree thing for him. Um, even though I ate all the candy canes off, but it's up there. It's over there on the wall with the inflatable ornaments outside. So we got the stuff and we doing that or whatever. I felt holiday-ish, holiday. And I'm doing my Christmas party again this year. I'm excited about that. Oh my gosh, I talked about grief and it is such a downer now. Like the mood has shifted. um, but yeah, I don't remember all of what I wanted to talk about. Really, just give updates on life and things and how all that is going. And Duda is doing very well in school. He enjoys his school. He likes his school. He likes learning. He loves to learn anyway. So especially if it's math or numbers, he loves numbers. So he's doing well in that. He's doing well at his OT. Every time I would get a call from school when it was doing the going through the process of his IEP plan, everyone was just like, he is such a sweet kid. He's such a sweet kid, such a kind spirit. He's so nice. Blah blah blah. Just praising my baby, or whatever. And I was like, yeah. When he starts to not like coming to school, if he starts crying about coming to school, I know something's up. When his attitude shifts, I'm gonna be knocking on the door because he's literally happy every time he goes. So when that changes, best believe I will be up there. And I've already did my volunteer paperwork, so I'm gonna be all up in them halls anyway. When they need me, of course, not just randomly. But yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well in school. My little baby, he's 4.5. 4.5 now. Went through a growth spurt. It's crazy. Now I'm rambling. All right, but that's it. Hope this recorded and saved. 1. But 2, if you have made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in with me and sticking in with me. And I will be back. When is the question? Don't worry about that. But I will be back, okay? Maybe it's next week. Maybe I have something else next week or the week after that. Hopefully before the new year. Or Happy New Year.